Xcode 26.3 just hit the App Store, and this is one of the better updates for Xcode. Apple has added more native AI agent supports directly inside your IDE. This enhances, the ChatGPT and Claude that we showed in a previous video, but Apple also built this on MCP, which we can see here is the Model Context Protocol. I covered this a little bit in my last video. So Xcode actually now exposes 20 native tools through MCP, build project, render preview, documentation search, run all tests, etc., etc. Essentially, the AI coding assistants just got a pretty big level up. So you can always check the release notes, and Apple even has a pretty cool video on this, but I'll also show you the setup from zero to hero in this one. Before we get started, make sure you're on version 26.3. As I mentioned, this one just recently came out as of recording this. We can see Xcode 26.3 is available on the App Store. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new project here. iOS app template. I'm just going to call it 26.3 demo. We'll go ahead and get started. Now, first things first, because this one's mostly about AI and agentic coding, let's go to Xcode and we'll want to open up the settings. You're going to want to navigate to the Intelligence tab. And the great thing is, for either one that you're using, I'm going to be using Claude. Let's say you're using OpenAI, you can actually go to Codex and press Get in order to download and install it. So in this case, I'm using Anthropic for Claude. We can see the Claude Agent, we can press the Get button, and we can install the third-party software. So we can download this agent directly inside Xcode, saves a lot of extra hassle. Awesome, we've added the Claude Agent. Again, same setup for ChatGPT, and now we just need to sign into our account. And you can either sign in with the Claude.ai account or provide it with an Anthropic API key. I just have my setup, so I'm going to go ahead and press that. Now it will open up in browser, and I'm going to go ahead and authenticate. Just as a note, you will need the paid version or the paid API key for this. Cool, and we can see our model. Now we also have access to Opus and Opus plus Sonnet. I know a lot of people were like, where's my Opus? Well, now you have access to it. Now back in the main Intelligence tab, you can actually see agents in Xcode have the permissions. So there's CD, git log. You can even allow different tools with the plus or minus. I also want to note that the Model Context Protocol, now this is off by default. You must enable this if you do plan on using MCPs, and I highly recommend enabling the MCPs. It gives your AI so much more access and control, and you can add those additional integrations. So once that toggle has been enabled, we're all set in our settings. Okay, wonderful. Let's go ahead and just see what we can do with the new updates. I'm going to change my AI by going to the little kind of chevron at the top here and choosing Claude Agent. Now, because we had established our Claude agents to be Opus, that is the one it should be using. And let's go ahead and have Claude design something for us. So I'll just do a quick example, but just know with this update, you can have much more in your prompts as the AI is way more powerful. Create an example sample page using screen time sample data. Display this in Swift charts and make sure that it is scrollable. Also include, based on the sample data, some insights and user suggestions. Okay, there's my prompt. Of course, with prompt engineering, you can do a lot better than I did. I like how this looks a lot more like a chat window now. Let's go ahead and allow Claude that access so it can actually see the files in Xcode. And you'll notice that just like before, it can read files, it can augment files, but it's going to be searching Apple's documentation for Swift charts and any relevant API. You'll notice it's a lot smarter. And my favorite part, look at this, it's actually creating a plan. So first it's going to create the sample data models. It's then going to go one by one. So let's see it create the sample data models first. There we go. It's added it to the content view here. We can see app usage, screen time. It's actually also built the scrollable screen time. It's added the insights, and now it's actually building and verifying the project. And you'll notice, look, it's doing this build project. We've actually gotten so many more tools and access by enabling MCP and downloading Claude directly into Xcode. This is pretty fantastic stuff. So we can see here that there's an error with code signing issues. This is because for my sample, I don't have a development team, and that's totally fine and expected. And look, we can see this more detailed report of here's what I built, etc., etc. This is really cool. So I actually have to go in and fix this error, but there is a lot better error handling in Xcode. It should be all good to go now. So here we have it, and honestly this looks pretty good and like lots of really cool sample data. But something I want to also show you that it can do is the render preview view. The AI can actually check on its own work. So I'm going to pass it another prompt. I'm going to ask it to actually render a preview of the chart. I want it to implement liquid glass and then check if the liquid glass is showing and that the charts are laid out correctly. And I want to then fix anything that might look off. We'll go ahead and send that prompt through. Going to do its thinking, and it's going to be doing the render preview screenshot. And look at this, it actually takes a screenshot and shows it back to you in the chat. Now it's going to go through the liquid glass material in SwiftUI. Going to be like, hey, is this how I can properly use it? Going to be looking at the screenshot, like it has the result here. So it verifies that it can see the current preview. It says that the layout looks good overall. I kind of agree. But now it's going to apply the liquid glass design based on the documentation. Now, Apple does recommend using liquid glass sparingly, and it recognizes that. And look, now it has its plan. It's going to replace it. It's going to add the glass effect, use the vibrant background color, and verify it with that preview render. So it's able to actually now take screenshots of the preview, what we also see on the right side in the canvas here, and kind of work through it. No more taking screenshots or having vague references to something that might look a little bit off. And of course, with your prompts, you can be as specific as you want to be. And there we go. We can see it's added liquid glass. It's going to quickly check for any compiler issues. So if there are errors, because it can't build per se, it will go through and list those errors and try its best to solve it. But we can see 0 compiler issues. That's awesome. It then takes the screenshot again for the preview because it's going to then verify that the liquid glass has been implemented properly. We can see it's rendering. We get a little bit of a preview, and what's cool, look, it even says it's going to scroll down to the rest of the page and make sure it's all good to go. It noticed a couple things. The stack cards, it's going too fast for me. The stack cards are a little too tight. The bar chart appears a little truncated. It's going through and it's making those adjustments. So it's going to verify once more that everything does compile, and we should be good to go. So now we have this very slick, smooth kind of liquid glass design going on in our preview, and it's giving us the kind of change log for any of those changes applied. So this is really very, very powerful stuff. So everything that the agent just did, reading files, writing code, building, reading errors, rendering previews, reading and searching the Apple class documents, those are all MCP tools. Xcode 26.3 exposes 20 of them. Here's the full set. Let's talk about those 20 tools your LLM has access through the MCP servers. We have 6 for the file operations: reading, writing, updating, removing, making directories, and moving or copying files. We also have search. We can look through the directory. We can grep to have regex search through file contents, and glob to find files by wildcard pattern. We also have the ability to build the project, get build logs, and list navigator issues. We can now test with a list, run tests, and run specific tests. And then we have the integrated tools and utilities. We can execute snippets, render previews, documentation search, right? We saw that with the Apple Glass. We can list different windows and workspace tabs, as well as refresh the code issues in file. We can actually get live compiler diagnostics for specific files. So before, we could kind of just read and do a little bit of like writing and creating. Now we have access to all 20 of these tools. It's like your LLM got fully plugged into Xcode, whereas before it was just on the surface level. So you don't need to memorize those tools. The agent picks the right tool for the task. You just describe what you want. That's how you can use the new MCP and all 20 of those new amazing tools, really great designs, and really explore new documentation. You could even edit and update entitlements, do imports, etc., etc. It actually gives you a lot more control compared to previous versions. So if you've been enjoying vibe coding, as we say in Xcode, make sure, if possible, you update to Xcode 26.3. The other part I want to talk about is actually giving external agentic coding tools access to Xcode. You can see here we can actually let agentic coding tools access your project and Xcode capabilities using the Model Context Protocol. I'll put the link for this in the description below. Essentially, we need to make sure we have that MCP toggle already on. We've already done this. And let's say I want to do it from Claude. We're going to go ahead and give that permission in the terminal. You can also do the same thing for Codex. Both of those options are there. So in our terminal, I'm going to go ahead and paste that Claude add, go ahead and run it. Now for me, just like in my previous example, I've already actually added it. For you, it will be added. You can verify this by accessing Claude in your terminal. Then from here, you might get a little, hey, allow Claude Code to access Xcode. We can say allow. Then back in our terminal here, let's do our /MCP. We can see we have, I already have Figma somewhere else. We also have Xcode, GitHub. We can actually look at Xcode and we can view all 20 of those tools that I was talking about, like even the get test list. We have a description of that here and we can go back. So if you wanted to use the Claude Code terminal, you can now have that connection. Use Claude terminal here through the MCP bridge. Totally up to you. So now you have that connection, the Xcode through Claude, or the exact same thing with Codex if that's the one you use. Now you may be wondering, well, hey, because we have this connection, can't I put things like Figma or any of the MCPs I found on Pulse MCP into Xcode now? Unfortunately not. The flow that Apple has designed is we have an external agent, so let's say Claude, that then talks to the MCP and goes to Xcode. It's not Figma talks directly to Xcode or Notion or whatever one you're using talks directly to Xcode. So Xcode only exposes the IDE primitives, so that's file graph, build test, doc search, project search, whereas things like the Figma MCP servers are built for agent clients. So that would be Visual Studio Code, Cursor, Claude, etc. So there's no currently built-in multi-MCP routing within Xcode. So if we go back to our settings here, in our intelligence, right, we can only really have information coming in through these two providers. If you're adding a model provider here, this is more like an LLM. So you would need to use the setup that I showed in the previous video of using the Claude Code terminal, where you would find something on Pulse MCP or whatever service you want to use. Then you would add it directly to the Claude terminal. From here, this is where you could then add it to your Xcode project. You would have to use the Claude terminal. We can't add it like the marketplace in Visual Studio Code. I just wanted to clear that up in case there was any confusion. So we can't access it within this chat window. Like I can't say, hey, use the Figma MCP here, right? If I were to ask it to use the Figma MCP, let's go ahead and see what it says. Say, hey, I don't have the Figma MCP server, right? Even in the top right here where we have our agent activity, we can even look at our agent settings, right? And I can even verify through the terminal right now, Figma is indeed connected, but Xcode can't access this. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to access this directory on Claude Code. So whatever your project directory is, then you can use the Figma MCP, however you want to use that. It's a little bit roundabout, but just in case you want to use an external MCP, I wanted to explain that for you in case you were trying to add one of them and it wasn't working. So this agent within the Xcode chat, think of it as AI with privileged access to Xcode, not AI with the universal MCP router. But again, like we saw from our example here, it is extremely powerful. If you do want those external MCPs, you'll just have to use the terminal for a little bit. So it's still pretty convenient, just not as convenient as, say, Visual Studio Code is currently. But I do just want to reiterate how amazing and really how many tools that we now have access to within Xcode for our agentic coding. So 26.3 is a huge update for those of you who love the vibe code. So just to reiterate, your AI can build, test, preview, search documentation, and fix its own errors, all within inside the IDE you already use. Setup is quick, settings, intelligence, add your API key or sign in, enable those MCP tools, and you're done. I'd also recommend adding a claude.md file for instructions for the LLM. It's totally up to you. I just want to make this quick video because the 26.3 update is quite a game changer for those of you who are using agentic coding in Xcode. Dream big, code bigger. See you in the next one.